Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's me again, Jen. Hello! And it is Wednesday. We are halfway through the week. It is the 24th of June, and we are nearing the end of the month. So, oh my gosh. Okay, cards are kind of falling all over the place this morning. I would like to note that I already spent the morning recording some episodes of Casing the Cover. If you haven't followed Casing the Cover on YouTube or other places, they are in my list of subscriptions. You should totally check them out, and I would totally appreciate it. We talk about books and covers and things like that. Much creativity, much interesting things. Okay, so without further ado, let's see what card we pulled today. Ta-da! We have the Queen of Rods. So rods or wands, staves, again, it kind of depends on what set you're working with. This month, all through June, we are working with the Sakki-Sakki Tarot deck, which is very abstract, as you can tell. And I absolutely think this card is so much fun. I'm already having fun just looking at this card. So what's great about this is that, so queens are usually feminine energy. They are usually to do with women who are mature. We'll say, I kind of tell people if you find this card in a reading, it typically represents feminine energy or a woman over the age of 30, let's say. Somebody who is well established in their adulthood, someone who probably has children or at least has a lot of passions and projects, work, things like that, a career. They're an adult. That's the big one for this. Feminine energy, that does not mean it has to be a woman, but usually it is. So you have a lot of feminine energy in this card, a lot of creativity in this card. And what I absolutely love about this card is that she just looks like she is so much fun. Look at this hairstyle. I'm absolutely loving all the different colors that are going on in there, all the vibrancy. Usually this will also represent a person who is kind of a fairer skin. So you're talking about people who are fair skinned, fair haired, so redheads, blondes, things of that nature. That's pretty typical of this card if you're looking for that to represent a person and kind of physical characteristics. That said, it doesn't have to. It also represents a woman who is very creative. So when I say that that queens are usually maternal and things like that, this one is probably more a mother to the arts. This one is more a mother to projects and ideas and things of that nature. She may have children, she may not. Her connection with children is likely though more as a creative influence and possibly a teacher. She ignites that interest in people, she ignites that passion. Just listening to a person like this talk about a creative project is going to get it off the ground. So these are the people that you need in your life to spark that energy. These are the moms that are always coming up with a new game for kids to do. They're always coming up with a project, that kind of thing. And they're usually women who are artists. In fact, I can think of a few artists in my life who this kind of reminds me of. Just the hair and the energy and everything about it. So usually she is represented on a throne, which I'm going to say that's what this green is behind her, is her throne. Usually there are sunflowers around her because rods and sunflowers have a lot of connection. At some point, maybe I'll talk about the tarot of the flowers and different things like that, where floral and that kind of stuff represent a lot of different symbols. There's a lot of language in flowers. So the sunflower, I'm going to guess the sunflower is actually this crazy orb that's kind of flying out from behind her. And we're going to go with that's the sunflower because abstract is all about this card. So the reds, the oranges, because rods or wands represent fire. So that brings us back to that spark of energy, that fire. It moves us. So when we say they've got a lot of fire in them, they're very passionate, they're very fiery. That's what this is kind of playing off of. Symbolically, these are going to be creative, energetic, those kinds of things. Symbolically, you're going to have a lot of fire, a lot of sun, a lot of brightness. What I find interesting is there are no little symbols down in the corners, and I don't see any hiding. Every once in a while, I'll get one, and the symbols are kind of hiding in the corners. I don't see any of that. So you have a card that is fully back to just what it typically would represent and symbolize in a standard deck. But it is missing a few things that kind of bothers me. I noticed there is no little cat, and cats are kind of one of the elements that are on the wands and rods, whether it's lions or domestic cats or things of that nature. And this is not just because I'm a cat person. I do think it's interesting that when they remove certain elements in symbology. So look at your cards, kind of compare them to some of the more classic decks, and then wonder why they've removed certain symbols. So she does have the traditional, she's got the wand right here. It is budding. So when this card comes up in a reading, I'll usually lean into the idea that either this represents the client, the querent, and they are wondering about themselves, and they are usually a very creative person, a passionate person, or it can represent somebody in their life who has this creative energy, who they should reach out to, or who may be giving them problems. Because remember, all of these cards have like that positive aspect and that inverted aspect. So you look at these cards and go, okay, well, what is the kind of drawback to somebody who has this much passion, creativity, and energy? And it's kind of that. It's they have too much creativity, passion, and energy. And they start all these things, but there's no like follow through. They don't finish anything. They start a bunch of ideas, but nothing ever comes of it. Or they have so much fire and passion, they kind of forget about how everybody else feels. It's all about the project, it's all about the finished product. And they're so excited about that. They don't think about, well, how much is it going to cost? And how much man hours is this going to be? And I don't really want to do that. It's your passion, not mine. So these people do get kind of caught up in their own element of things, a little bit narcissistic in the sense of like it's about their projects and about them and not about the people who they may like conscript into duty. I think we've all been passionate enough about a project that we've done this. So it doesn't have to be about a specific person or a specific look of person. This is an energy. The other thing that comes up is even if this comes up in a male reading, it can be that feminine energy of trying to get people on board with a project. So maybe it's kind of speaking to him in the sense of, hey, be diplomatic about this. Engage your passions. Don't be afraid to have the emotion about it and be passionate and express that. Because be real, we know that a lot of times one of those things that culturally happens to men is that their ideas get kind of squashed because they don't feel they can put the emotion behind it. They don't feel they can get excited about it. I often will tell people, especially men who are excited about a project, I'm like, good, go do it. I'm with you. Yes. What do you need me to do? What research do you need me to do? I'll do the boring bits. You do the fun stuff. Because I think men sometimes don't get to do that. We tend to think of them more as like, well, you do the grunt work, you do that stuff. Whereas if they've got a passionate project that they, really want to be involved in, let them do the fun stuff. So reach into this energy is kind of what it's about. Be passionate in your projects, be passionate in your expression of those projects. But remember the other people as well around you. And maybe they don't want to build that giant fort. The kids are just like, the kids today just want to color. They just want to use the coloring book. It's okay. They don't want to build the big thing that mom wants to build. They don't want to do the puzzle. So, hold on to those things. Be aware, temper that fire a little bit. Don't be a wildfire. And draw it back and see the surroundings around you too. So I think this card is really interesting in all those aspects. The other thing I really love is the colors in this card. It's very bright, it's very vibrant, and it totally embodies that character of the Queen of Rods. So What I will say as far as a reading for today is this is a great way to push through the rest of the week. Happy Wednesday. Get over that hump. Put a little passion, put a little kick in your step, and find something to be passionate about this week. Find something that'll impassion you until the weekend when you get to relax. And from the fire sign perspective of it, I really do want to give a little bit of blessings and hope to the people who are dealing with some fire that has gotten a little out of control with the wildfires that are going on out there. So all of those things. If you are interested in reading or lessons, please feel free to check out the description and check out the uh, website link, and I will let you know how to get in on the Tarot Cafe lessons that I have started. And if you are interested in any other weird stuff that I do, check out the other channels that I am involved in. Check out some of the other playlists that I have on here, and always feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Reach out with any questions that you may have, and I think this deck is really fun, and I'm gonna miss it. Also, if you have some ideas for next month's deck, I will absolutely be open to those. If I have them in my collection, we'll do them right away, and if not, well, then I will see if I can get a hold of them. So until next time, have a wonderful Wednesday. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Please stay safe. Please stay out of trouble. Stay in trouble. All right, and I will see you next time. Bye!